Morning everybody, welcome to another episode of Car Addiction. Today we're gonna talk about much awaited manual swap on my 300ZX. Oh man, it's been almost over, it's gonna be a year since I started collecting parts and getting ready for the whole project, and it definitely costs a lot of money, which I don't have. Look at my subscriber count, it's only 7,800. So please smash that subscribe button and hit that bell notification to stay up to date for all upcoming videos, because I really need your help. Now, this is my 93 300ZX twin turbo auto. Has a bunch of mods in it. It ran perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the car. And you know, when you start ripping out a perfectly good car and make it a non-runnable condition from a perfectly runnable condition, it hurts so bad, like deep down, because you know, if you screw up, which you will, you don't know what kind of hole you're in now, because everything in these cars are expensive. Labor, parts, specialized knowledge, you name it, it's up there. Anyway, enough grumbling about it. There's two ways you can do this job. First, if you go to Z1 Motorsports, just Google 300ZX manual swap, and you're gonna see the whole list of parts that you're gonna need. And the kit is: use stock brake pedal, use stock clutch pedal, pin and clip, new OEM clutch pedal master cylinder, Z1 single piece full length clutch line, new OEM clutch slave cylinder, manual transmission to alternator harness, that is very important, manual transmission to engine bolt kit, you're gonna need that, and manual transmission to engine plates, new Nismo transmission mounts, since you're putting a new tranny in, might as well put new mounts in, transmission to bolt mounts and nuts, manual transmission flywheel bolts, eight of them, 9 pressure plate bolts and washers, shift boot retainer with screws, and Z1 5-speed conversion tech article, blah blah blah. This kit, and you know, you add a good used transmission, or if you add a good used transmission, that's another $1,200 US, and if you add a 98 plus spec twin turbo transmission, that's $2,000 US plus. And then drive shaft, just a used OEM front half, $70. Clutch, heavy duty clutch, Z1 heavy duty clutch, flywheel, Z1 lightweight flywheel, and then shift knob and boots. It comes to $4,198. It's $4,200 US. And if you get this job done through Z1 Motorsports, that's another $2,500. That brings to, $6,700 US for a manual swap. Have you seen my subscriber count? It's like 1,700 people. You think I make that kind of money out of YouTube? Like, no, to be honest with you, I make about 180 to 200 Canadian dollars a month from YouTube, so not even US. So again, I beg you, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Please help me fund these projects, and they're very useful. Now, of course, that's a way to go by if you go with Z1 Motorsports and mostly brand new parts. Option 2 is you buy one of these. What is it? It's a rebuilt, wrecked 300ZX twin turbo 2+2. Even though my car is 2+0, this is 2+2. I can still use all of these parts from that car. The only thing I had to buy is a 2+0 manual drive shaft. And I sourced out a used 2+0 manual drive shaft, shipped to me from Texas, I believe, Lewis. Shout out to Lewis. This guy is fantastic. Yeah, so I bought that kit. Shipped to me was $140 US. Can't go wrong. It needs a carrier bearing. I was gonna do the carrier bearing anyway. That's that. Now let me show you the parts list. Before I go to the parts list, I just wanted to give a heads up. The whole vehicle, it cost me 1,600 Canadian, and it came with a full interior. It was running and driving, the whole suspension, rear end. If you need any parts, hit me in the comment section. I'll let you know what I got. So I sold the interior, and the interior was so good. I sold just the interior and I recovered my $1,600. And then I sold all the brake components and the suspension. I am up. And the person who is helping me do this job, his name is Jason. It's a wonderful individual. He has been in the Z community for the longest time. He has done a couple of manual swaps, so he knows what he's talking about and what he's doing. And my deal with him is we're doing a barter deal. He needs a 300ZX twin turbo motor, VG30 DETT, and I need this manual swap done. So guess what? He's gonna help me do the manual swap with his labor, his experience and knowledge. He got one dumb helper, and he gets that motor for free. It's a win-win-win situation for everybody else. It's not costing him anything other than his labor. The parts, I provide all the parts. So thank you, Jason. I really appreciate your help. Now, let's go back to the part. As I said, a 2+0 twin turbo manual drive shaft, master brake cylinder and the whole kit, the paddle and the kit, the wiring harness, slave, and this is the wire that goes from the master boost cylinder to the slave, and this part of it comes to the top of the car so that you can bleed it easy. We're gonna eliminate this because the way this works is this line goes really close to the turbo and then goes to the transmission. So there is a chance that the heat from the turbo is gonna boil or heat up the fluid. So we're gonna replace all of that. We're gonna use some brake lines and reroute away from the turbo and to the slave cylinder. And the one thing I am missing in this equation, I actually have it, I still need to just bring it out, is the alternator wiring harness. So again, it's in that car. We're just gonna get it up. Dropping the tranny in this vehicle is not that easy, or neither it's that hard. All you have to do is have a little bit of know-how. Unless the bolts are rusty, you're gonna have, if the bolts are rusty, you're gonna have a hell of a job. But if the bolts are not rusty, you can pull it up pretty easy. So one thing that you're gonna need to take this tranny out is a contraption like this. All right, it has a swivel head on top and all of these extensions, because the 3 bolts on the top, the bolt in the center, and the 2 bolts beside that, they are painful without that contraption. You know, first you have to drop the drive shaft, drop the tranny mount, and when you drop the tranny mount, because of the weight of the tranny, the engine is going to go a little bit like that, and that's when you will have access to it. And the only way you can do it is if you have a contraption like that. Just shoot up and get her done. And once you get her done, the tranny, just use a jack to slowly lower it down instead of just banging it on the ground. And because this is a manual, so all the transmission plates and those shims and everything, it will come with that, and you can easily swap them out. I was lucky when I opened this tranny up. It has a Z1 lightweight flywheel. I was like, holy sh! And it has a X80 Stage 1 clutch pack, which was practically brand new. I was supposed to buy something, but I ended up using them. They are in really, really good condition. So as of right now, the tranny is in this vehicle. The automatic tranny is there. I just covered it up, and all we have to do is put the 3 bolts up top and then mount everything, and that's where the more critical stuff starts, because you need to rewire the alternator. I'm going to show you that. It's coming in the next videos. That's why you need to hit the bell notification And you also need to I exactly don't know, that's where Jason comes in. So right behind this panel there's a switch box, and you need to do something to the switch. So what happens is, in an automatic tranny, when you put your tranny in the park position, you can take the key off, or when you put the tranny in the park position, you can start the vehicle. So you need to jump a switch in order for you to do that, or else because the ECU still thinks it's a ECU still thinks that the transmission is not in park, so it won't give you the key back. Oh, another thing, the ECU itself, it is completely fine to run an automatic ECU on a manual car, because the major difference between an automatic ECU and a manual ECU is the transmission shift points. But you can't run a manual ECU in an automatic car. It won't work because it won't shift the transmission for you. On a manual car, it's fine. You can run an automatic tranny. So the good thing for me is I'm going to keep my TT automatic ECU that I have, and that's going to save me a couple of bucks. Anyway, please smash the like and subscribe button and hit the bell notification, because the second part of the video I will talk about the more important nitty-gritty stuff, how to jump that line and how to put the harness in, and also how you're gonna put this brake booster and brake these stuff in that vehicle without taking the dash off, because everywhere I read, or everybody who talks about it, they took the dash off. So the car, it already looks torn up. I just don't want to make it more torn up. So stay tuned, hit the bell notification and the subscribe button.